are 4 phases of putting your home on the market. Number 1, before your house actually goes on the market, it's the prep phase. The initial phase for 99% of the people is where the heavy work and preparation comes in. I would recommend interviewing 3 local agents and have them tour your home and provide you with a complete home and market analysis. They can also provide you with what repair recommendations that you may need. I have talked about this in a previous video. Just a refresh to prep your house, cleaning the interior and exterior of your home to include gutters and have any repairs made that you've been holding off on, like restaining your deck and getting your HVAC system serviced. For a complete guide, please text or email me and I'm happy to send you my checklist. Decluttering and making those donations to your local charities and getting a tax deduction. Make a list and take photos of all that you're donating. Someone would love to have your gently used items. And you're decluttering your home at the same time. Consider getting a small dumpster delivered or calling a junk removal service if you need to purge more. Get packing. You are leaving, right? It will make your home show better with your closets half empty. Pack the other season's clothes away. Start staging an area in your garage or rent a storage unit. If you're using your garage, please be mindful to not block any system that a future home inspector will need access to. If you're going to get a HELOC to help you purchase your next home, get that done ASAP, as it can take up to 90 days for the funds to come through, and you cannot have your home actively on the market while you're applying for this type of loan. See my video about being handcuffed to your property for more information about that. Phase 2, on market. After you put your Herculean effort in phase 1, this is where hopefully all your work will pay off. Let the showings begin. Contract negotiations, which is my favorite part of the process. I get in about 18,000 steps pacing around my house when I'm in negotiations. What to look for in an offer and what to do if you are in a multiple offer situation. Once you go through here, you glide into phase 3. Phase 3, under contract. This part of the process is no less daunting. I never count my chickens until they hatch, and guess what? They hatch after both parties have signed their closing documents. So what happens during this under contract phase? Home inspections, WDI inspection, appraisals, and title search. You do not want to be the reason for any delays in this process. Plus, the title company will need your current mortgage info so that they can order your loan payoff, which is different from what you see online. Repairs, if any, walkthrough, and the final walkthrough. You may say, Donna, what is the difference between a walkthrough and a final walkthrough? Well, here in Northern Virginia, the contract allows for the seller to allow reasonable access to the buyer and their broker to be allowed to make a walkthrough inspection starting 7 days prior to closing or occupancy, regardless if a home inspection was originally part of the contract. Sometimes, if there was an agreed upon repairs, the buyer and their agent should verify that those repairs were made a few days before closing. You as the seller do not want to wait until the last minute to get those repairs made. What if the buyer discovered that those repairs weren't made? What if they only did a walkthrough 30 minutes before closing and the repairs weren't done? There's now no time to renegotiate those repairs or get them taken care of. This way, both parties verify that the pre-negotiated repairs were already done and you, the seller, provided invoices for those items. Plus, they have to go through a checklist of items to make sure that things are working and that there aren't any major holes that were being concealed by furniture that you didn't notice before. Then the final walkthrough is usually done on the day of closing right beforehand, and this is just a quick once-over. Again, this is to make sure that it still looks substantially in the same condition as it did before. Have you heard of pipes freezing here in Northern Virginia? Yeah, they freeze and bust and can cause water damage. The last thing the buyer is going to want to do is to sign on property and only go to it right after closing, discover that there's something happened. So of course, it's always a good idea for the buyer to swing by, look at it, make sure everything's good to go before they go to signing. Phase 4, settlement/closing day. Did you know that here in Virginia, you can close your side of the transaction a few days earlier as the seller? This is actually great since your signing only takes about 15 minutes compared to an hour-long process it took from when you purchased your home. You can just get this part done and over with at a more convenient day and time, as long as it's before the settlement date listed on the contract. Please be sure to bring your state-issued ID and the account number and routing number for the financial institution that you want your seller proceeds to be wired into. If you would like for me to guide you through all 4 phases of the home selling process, contact me today, Donna Chong with the Fox Homes team.